Hi and welcome to another video, guys. Today I wanted to show you an iPhone 6 screen replacement. You can see that the screen is completely shattered, pretty heavy cracks next to the home button. But as I open up the screen, I can see that the digitizer does work and the phone is still fully functioning. So the tools you'll need are a 0.8mm pentalobe screw, a 1.5mm Phillips screw, an iSesamo tool, and a plastic pry tool. So to start off, you want to use your pentalobe screw and you want to take these two screws out of the bottom of the phone. Now in some cases I would actually use a suction cup to lift off the screen, but because there's cracks all over the screen, I wouldn't be able to attach to the screen properly. So when you've took the screws out of the bottom of the phone, you want to use your iSesamo tool and slip it in between the screen and the frame and then push up to release the screen. As you open up the screen, you will see this metal plate with two screws. This is where the battery sits. So you want to unscrew those two screws and slowly pry out the battery so you'll have no chance of frying the board whilst you're taking off the screen. So once you've taken out the battery, there's another plate in the top right corner of the phone. So this is basically how you'll remove your screen. So you want to take out the 5 screws from the metal plate. Once you remove the plate, then you want to gently unsnap all the clasps and then remove the screen. So before we go further, you want to make sure you organize all your screws so when you're putting everything back into the new screen, it's easy to follow and you'll have less problems. So once you took the screen off, you want to start at the bottom where the home button is. So you'll find this metal plate that has 3 screws that needs to be removed. So remove them and lift off the bracket. To remove the actual home button, you need to release this connector with a pry tool, and then you should be able to lightly pull it off. Please remember that this is the only home button that comes with your phone that will work with Touch ID. Any aftermarket home button you put in your phone will not have access to Touch ID. It will just work as a normal home button. So at the side of the phone, there are 3 screws on either side that needs to be removed to be able to take off the back plate. So remove all 6 of them. Now you want to make your way to the top of the phone where the earpiece sits. You'll find that there's 3 screws, so take the screws out and remove the top bracket and take out the earpiece. So what you want to do is pull up the front camera and proximity sensor from the little brackets that they're held in, and then carefully take off the golden piece that's taped down by the earpiece. When you've done that, you should be able to take off the whole back plate and start the process in fitting the components on your new screen. So I'm now going to put my back plate onto my new screen. So the first thing I'm going to put back on is the home button. It should relatively still be sticky from before. Either way, just place it back over the hole, then fold the connectors. You want to make sure your connector is fully snapped back into place, because if it isn't, then your home button will not work. Then grab your home button bracket and screw in the 3 screws. Then make your way around the phone, filling in the 3 screws at each side. After that, you want to grab your earpiece ribbon cable and pull that back, lining up with the little peg. So there's a tiny little hole at the top of the golden piece. You need to match that up with the tiny dot as a guide. And those little connection points will fold over the top of the earpiece and fold over the front camera back into its slot. Then you want to fold the proximity sensor and everything back into its place. When everything's back in its slot, you can finish off by grabbing your back plate for your camera and place the screws back into the holes. So then all you want to do is take your screen and then plug back all the connectors into your phone. Once you've plugged in all your 4 connectors correctly, your screen back onto the phone. You want to make sure you put that bracket back on and place in all the remaining 5 screws to secure the screen. Then plug the battery back in. So once the battery's in, you want to get that back plate and put the 2 remaining screws in. Once the battery's back in, you want to hold the power button and see if the phone turns on. If it doesn't, try taking the battery flexor out and putting it back in, which is called a battery pull. So if it's still not turning on, you want to have a look and see if all the flexes are plugged into the phone properly. Initially, you want to hear like a slight little click when you fit them in. So if your phone boots up, make sure you test the digitizer by going onto the cord keypad and pressing all the numbers about 3 times to test that every section of the phone is working. So finishing off, you're going to want to slot the top of your screen into the top of the frame. Then use your thumbs to slide down and click the screen back into place. If it doesn't slot back into place, then check to see if there's any spare screws floating about, stopping it from sitting in flush. To finish off your repair, you're going to want to put in the 2 last pentalobe screws in the bottom of your phone, and there you go. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks for your smartphones. Hope you all have a good day and we'll see you in the next one.